For years on my mirror at home, I have had, "You were at war," so that I would remember each morning when I shave, well, I don't shave, but when I was standing in front of the mirror that I was at war. October of last year, I took that off the mirror and said, I don't want to be at war anymore. I don't want to fight Satan. I just want to be like the other 90% of people at our church, that you just walk in, you sit down, you listen to the service, and you go home. And then Satan doesn't mess with you. And for those of you who are new, you accepted Jesus this weekend, great, but just stand by. Because, anyway, so December, just as my wife and I were having some issues, I met a bunch of guys on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m. sitting in Okehele Park. And my first time there with my brother Tim over here, these guys sat around, and for 30 minutes they kept going back and forth and telling stories about, I had this waitress who, when she was serving us, I asked, "Do you know Jesus?" And they started talking to her about Jesus. And they see people on the street and they start talking to them about Jesus. And they get to a gas station out of gas and they sit there and tell Jesus they're not going to leave again until they get money for fuel, because they can't go and money comes. And I see these mighty men of God that I got to be around. And backstory is that I've been involved in men's ministry since the Promise Keepers events, doing security and then men's ministry at our church, and all the stuff. I'm a great Martha. We put on these events before. We've done this. I know all you guys in the red shirts are the greatest, because I've been there. I've been on that side. And the worst thing for me was when Steve said, let's go do this, we can do this. I would say, oh yeah, I'll do this, because I knew my wife, there was no way my wife was going to go. So I could be the hero and say, oh yeah, I'll go, guys. But that didn't work either, so my wife is here. Because of these men, and when we got here, I knew the last time I knew that I was supposed to be here was, on Thursday night, I knew I was coming up with every excuse in the world not to come. And we had some really good ones, we have to watch the grandbaby, and we decided to come anyway. And I know that when I don't want to be somewhere really bad, that's someplace I've got to be. My wife and I have a fairly good relationship, 30 years together. We've been through the valleys. Right now we're doing much better. But this brought us to show me that there's even better. And that it's worth fighting for. And like the rest of y'all, I love my wife to death. Why would she stay with me? I don't know, but God's got a plan, and it's back on my mirror. In December, I put it back on my mirror. You're at war. Actually, I put it in January, I guess. You're at war. Never quit. Never surrender. And hoorah! Thank you.